Bonner gets denied by Boston. Wheeler finds Clark from the logo.
Just a few shifts, a downshift there, the deceleration and the finish at the rim.
Clark goes behind her back to get by Odyssey Sims.
Clark working on Van Loo. Oh, Clark, pretty step back, hits a three. Got a little separation.
Caitlin Clark doesn't just beat defenders, she humiliates them in layers. Because just when you think you've guarded the three, she breaks somebody down off the dribble. And the craziest part, some of these defenders actually do everything right and still end up on the wrong side of a highlight. So stay with me, because the deeper we go into this video, the more ridiculous these clips get.
Bonner gets denied by Boston. Wheeler finds Clark from the logo.
This right here is how you instantly break a defense's confidence. Look how far out she is. That is not normal shot selection. That is the kind of range that completely changes how a team has to guard you. And that is when the real damage starts.
Just a few shifts, a downshift there, the deceleration and the finish at the rim.
Clark goes behind her back to get by Odyssey Sims, and that electrifies.
Guarding Caitlin Clark is a nightmare. If you press up to take away the deep shot, now you have to survive this. And suddenly the defender is no longer guarding a score, she's trying to recover from embarrassment in real time. That's what makes Clark so dangerous. Her game doesn't punish you in one way, it punishes your decision making.
Kimbrough, she will launch. Samuelson, nice pass there to Clark. Clark behind the back. Oh, it's Smith with the finish. Brilliance from Caitlin Clark.
And this might be even colder, because flashy passes are one thing, but flashy passes at full speed, under pressure, in traffic, that's a different level. That's the kind of play that makes defenders feel helpless.
Clark.
Uh-oh.
Buckle Clark, please.
Uh-oh.
Now this is one of my favorite types of Clark clips. She just keeps the defender guessing for one extra beat, and that one extra beat is enough. That little hesitation, that tiny gear shift, that sudden stop-start rhythm, that's where she creates the separation. And once she gets you leaning, the play is already over.
Here's Clark. Picked up now by Dee Richards as she's into the ball game. Richards on the floor. Clark, the step back three just below the logo, drills it.
And if you thought the last logo shot was bad, this is where it gets disrespectful. Because now it's not just deep range. The defender gets moved, reset, and then scored on anyway. That is mentally exhausting to deal with. And you can feel it when Clark starts stacking these possessions.
Now to Horston. Gets a decent look. Can't get it to go. All of a sudden, that's 6 of 10. Not looking so hot anymore.
This is the stuff that separates highlight players from true offensive engines. Clark sees free points before the defense even turns around. And what makes this play special is not just the arm strength, it's how instantly she recognizes the window and commits to it.
WNBA had a clear out.
Giroux turns, ducks in. Benley stays with her. Blocked from behind. That was Clark. Now Clark looking to push. Cross-court pass. Pull back to Clark. She will launch and bury a three.
That's the kind of sequence that doesn't just get fans hyped. It crushes momentum for the other team. Because now you're not just getting scored on. You're getting flipped from one end of the floor to the other by the same player in a matter of seconds.
Clark working on Cunningham, gets inside. Clark gets it to go. And the foul. Clark in the double digits.
You can feel the edge here. She gets downhill, absorbs the contact, finishes the play, and then gives you that reaction that tells everybody in the building she knows exactly what she just did. That matters. Because once a player starts mixing shot making, vision, handle, and emotion like this, the defense is not just reacting to talent anymore, it's reacting to pressure.
See them.
Bebish hounding Clark. Clark, step back three, knocks it down.
This one is pure skill, and I mean real shot creator skill. Going to her right, creating the separation, keeping the balance, squaring up fast, and still knocking it down clean. That is not an easy shot.
There's been many times early in this season where that has not been the case and have allowed too much dribble penetration.
Well, and it allows them, oh, what a dime. My goodness, the pass from Clark.
This is the kind of pass that tells you Clark sees the game one frame ahead of everyone else. To most players, that lane looks crowded. To her, it looks open for half a second, and half a second is all she needs. That is why defenders get embarrassed by her passing too, because even when they think they've taken everything away, she still finds the one angle they forgot.
Caitlin did it!
And this is where her range starts feeling exhausting. She crosses into space for a split second, and that's it. No extra dribbles, just pull up, release, splash. When a player is willing to fire that confidently in transition, defenders never get to breathe, and that constant pressure is exactly what creates the panic.
It's the small lineup I'm talking about with Caitlin Samuelson at the 4.
Clark bounce pass, it's Smith again.
The bounce, the angle, the timing, all of that has to be exact. And Clark makes hard passes look routine, which is probably the most dangerous part of her playmaking. Because when the impossible starts looking normal, that's when you know somebody's vision is elite.
Clark over Horston, hits a three.
Sometimes the most disrespectful thing you can do is rise up with a hand in your face and barely look bothered. That's what this feels like. Simple, calm, efficient. And honestly, that can be even more demoralizing than the flashy stuff.
Everything but the bucket that time from Phoenix.
Good job by Cunningham to quickly get on Clark.
Clark sneaks the screen and got the layup and one.
This is where Clark's offensive gravity really shows up, because defenders are so worried about the jumper that when she gets a real lane, they're already a step behind.
Clark gets a screen from Boston. There's the pick and roll, and easy.
She keeps the defender occupied just long enough and then puts the ball exactly where it needs to be. That is advanced control. That is somebody orchestrating the defense, not just reacting to it.
Clark working on Van Loo. Oh, Clark, pretty step back, hits a three. Got a little separation.
This is the punishment for the smallest defensive mistake. Clark doesn't need a huge opening. She just needs a little crack, and once she gets that tiny pocket of space, the shot is already in motion. That's what makes elite shooters terrifying. Defenders can play decent defense and still end up giving up 3 points.
Bella took some contact there. Griner doesn't get the call. Clark working the baseline. It knocked off the underside of the backboard. Did a nice job to recover. It bounces inside. Pretty fine to Mitchell.
This play is messy in the best way. It looks broken for a second, and then Clark turns the chaos into an advantage. That's basketball instinct. Some players need structure to create. Others can create when everything falls apart. Clark is clearly the second type.
It's important not to pick up the second because she got 2 in the first quarter against Connecticut.
Clark, shot a three.
By this point, the defense is trapped. Go under, she shoots. Fight over, she gets downhill. That's why this clip feels bigger than just another made three. It feels like the defense has finally run out of answers.
Now Clark trying to make something happen. Behind the back. Backs the basket and gets her first field goal in style.
The move is flashy, sure, but what really matters is what it does to the defender's balance. That behind the back isn't there for show. It shifts the body, changes the angle, and makes the finish possible. That's why Clark's highlights work so well. They look entertaining, but underneath that, they're brutally effective.
Really good screen by Nia Coffey, and that's something that Nia Coffey does well every time down the floor. It tries to help the continuity of the offense.
And this is the perfect way to close it. One more clean reminder that Caitlin Clark can embarrass a defense without needing a complicated setup. She can do it with range. She can do it with pace. And once a player has that many ways to hurt you, every possession starts feeling uncomfortable. And that's really the scariest part of Caitlin Clark's game. She doesn't embarrass opponents the same way twice. Sometimes it's a logo 3. Sometimes it's a defender getting shifted out of the play. Sometimes it's a pass nobody else on the floor even saw. And that variety is exactly why these moments keep stacking up. Because once you try to take away one part of her game, you usually end up opening the door for another.